Hi everyone, this is Marcus Curtis with Marcus Curtis Music, and I know it's been a while since I've done a video, but I would like to continue the series that I've started in the last video. And in the last video, we covered how to use a regular guitar as a MIDI instrument. Now we do this through a software program called Midi Guitar 2, and in the last video you can see where to get it, and how to download it, and how to install it. Just go ahead and get the demo version, experiment with it, see if you like it, see if it fits your needs. Now what we're going to cover is we're going to cover how to use Midi Guitar 2 with your DAW application. So your software synths and any kind of software instrument that you have, you can use with Midi Guitar 2. We're also going to cover how to use this in a live setup and to create a live rig so you can use it in a band situation. We're also going to cover how to use Midi Guitar 2 with third-party synths. Now there are some synths that come built in with Midi Guitar 2, but we're going to cover how to use third-party synths. And in this video what we're going to do is we're going to cover the basics of Midi Guitar 2 so you can kind of feel what this thing does, okay? So let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, the next step is to plug our guitar into our X32 producer. And to do this, we're going to need a mic cable, and then we're going to need a direct box. And what we're going to do is we're going to plug the mic cable into the direct box, and then we're going to plug the other end into channel 1 of our X32 producer. And then we're going to plug our guitar into the direct box. And now we're good to go. So as we see our setup here, our monitors are going to play back our audio. We're using our monitor outputs from the Behringer mixer. And as we play back our audio, it will be picked up by the Yeti microphone as we do our screen capture. So all of our sound is going to be produced by the Yeti microphone. Okay, so here we are at the computer. I have my guitar here, and you can hear it because you're hearing it through the Yeti mic. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start our Behringer app. And we're going to connect to the mixer to PC. Now I am plugged in to channel 1. And once it's done transferring these parameters, we're going to go ahead and blow this up. And you could probably see maybe a little bit of a signal here. Then again, maybe not. So let's go ahead and click on the channel and find out what's going on here. Volume turned up on the guitar. There it is. It's a little bit louder here. It's about 34. Very good. So in order to hear this back, we're going to hear it back through the monitors. And for that, we're going to go over here to Monitor, click that on. And we're going to select source, and then we're going to go ahead and turn it up here. See a little bit of input there. So now what we're going to do is go over to the monitor knob on the mixer and turn it up a little bit. Okay, come here, mixer. Let's see if we can hear the guitar at this point. Okay, we can hear it now. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and turn this up just a little bit more here. Okay, good. Now we can hear it, and now we're going to go ahead and start Midi Guitar 2. To do that, we're going to go ahead and turn this down, and we're going to go ahead and start Midi Guitar 2. All right, so we're going to bring this down and bring this over. And we're going to adjust the width. Bring this over just a little bit. About like that. So we can switch back and forth now between the apps by down here in the taskbar by hitting on either the Behringer app or Midi Guitar 2. Okay. So when we play our guitar, we should see whatever we play come over here in the Midi Velocity module. So as we play this thing, nothing is presented over here. So what we need to do is go over to where it says Interface. We click on Interface,
and we look at the audio interface area, we see that this is our Tascam right here, our 16x8 ASIO. We're going to click on that. We're going to go over to our XUSB. This is our Behringer unit. And whatever channel that you're plugged in, you want to make sure you select that channel in here. We're in channel 1, so we're going to stick with that. And then our output is going to be 1 and 2, okay? We have 8 out, so we're just going to use the first 2 outputs, okay? So now what we play will come in here, okay? There we see. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to select a patch. So I'm going to go over here where it says default. This is where you pick your patches. Click on here, and let's go down to Fender Rhodes. Let's see if we hear a Rhode. You know, always, all we hear is a regular guitar. So we're going to go over here to our app, pick up our Behringer app again. We're going to fix this in routing. So we're going to go over here to routing. Now in the past what we did is we took 8 channels from one of these groups over here. We moved it over to the card, and that's how we heard back the audio that we have recorded. Or this is how we've heard back the audio from Midi Guitar. But what we're going to do this time is we're going to go down to auxiliary ins, and we're going to go down and select card 1 and 2. Now remember, we have channels 1 and 2 in Midi Guitar, as you remember, channels 1 and 2, out 1 and 2. So we're going to need to use, in our routing, 1 and 2 here, okay? So now what we should do is go and see if we have, go over here to auxiliary, and there we have our auxiliary out, and there is our Fender Rhodes. We're going to go ahead and highlight auxiliary 1, and we're going to do the stereo link. Hit OK. It should set up the pans. Here's our left channel, and here's our right channel. Okay, so we're still hearing our guitar. We don't want to hear our guitar at this stage of the game, so I'm going to go over to our 1 through 16 input, highlight channel 1. And we're just going to turn this off right here. Now all we hear is the Fender Rhodes. Okay, there we go. All set. So now let's go ahead and explore the rest of Midi Guitar 2. Now if you really want to learn your way around, all you have to do is go over here to Help. And when we click on Help, the introduction module comes up, and it switched our patch to test piano. So now if I play this, the piano will appear. Okay, a little bit loud there. Let's go ahead and turn this down. Okay. Okay. Now, when you hit the Help, this comes up and it changes it to Test Piano. And we have 17 pages here to look at, and this is how we navigate the pages down here. Go to the next page and we see that this is our audio interface. Okay. This right here is the rack. This is everything that goes into a preset or a patch. All of these things can be adjusted with every preset. Okay, here's where we select our patch. This is where the magic happens. This is what changes your audio signal to a MIDI. This is the Midi Velocity, and this is what determines the strength of the signal of the MIDI. This is the articulation, and this is where you can select bends, legato, or aftertouch. Over here you're going to find MIDI machines, and all kinds of things are in here. MIDI effects, or a transposer, or a sustainer, or even an arpeggiator. Over here is where you select your MIDI instruments. Over here is where you select a guitar tone, so you can run a guitar tone and a MIDI instrument at the same time. This is where you would balance the two signals together. And this is your MIDI output. This is where you would configure it for a DAW or a MIDI controller, so you can use a foot switch to control the software. Okay, if you have tracking issues, it shows you how to resolve tracking issues. And a little bit more information about Midi Guitar, or you can just go to Jam Origin to download the
application. Okay, that's it for the basic walkthrough. So we're going to go back to our test piano and we're going to go back to default, and nothing is loaded in here. We're just going to customize a patch. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit more time and talk about this. To load a patch, of course, is you click on the default, which is the patch we're on now, and select a different patch. The tuning, this is where we change the tuning of our instrument right here. Okay. And then polyphonic, this determines whether or not we want to play one note at a time, which would be monophonic, or whether we want to do a polyphonic tone, which is more than one tone at a time. And this is a noise gate. So if you're getting noise from your guitar, this is where you can control the noise coming in. In our articulation setting, okay, we can pick the bend range if we want to bend notes for this particular patch. And then the legato basically is adds a little bit of a sustain, and we can choose how much sustain we want to add. Okay. And then there's aftertouch. We can enable or disable aftertouch here. Okay, and the Midi Velocity, this is what basically controls the volume of the Midi. You can see our Midi right here, right? Okay, so no sound is being produced because there's no instrument selected. Okay, so what we could do with this, if the bass is not loud enough, we can come over here to the tone and we can make the bass louder, and we can make the treble smaller. And if the treble's not loud enough, we can make the treble louder and the bass smaller. And then we can kind of play with the gain of our MIDI input. If we want to boost that up a little bit. And all of this is what's used to adjust the tracking. Then the curve basically adjusts the curve of this line right here. Okay. Then our MIDI machines, of course, we have a transposer, a sustainer, an arpeggiator. We can add a bass note. We can add a mod wheel. There's all different types of things we can do. And then over here is where we pick our instrument. Now there's 4 instruments that come with Midi Guitar 2. Okay, so we have an electric piano. And that, okay, and we can change our type of electric piano in here. There's 5 types in this. In addition to that, we have a regular piano. So here's our regular piano. And in the regular piano, we have different options that we can select for our piano as well. And then, in addition to that, we have this JX10 AM synth. And we can select a different patch for the synth. And there's all kinds of things to choose from. Let's try this one. Let's try another one. Let's see the pad. Let's see what a pad sounds like. Okay. Let's see what else we have. We have, let's try a trumpet. What else do we have? Let's try strings. And our other synth is a DX10, which is basically after a Yamaha DX7, more or less. Okay, let's go ahead and load another patch. We're going to use the Rhodes patch. And we'll show you what some of these tools do. Right now we have the keyboard tool, and we click on that, and that keyboard tool will open up. So any note that we play on the keyboard will be highlighted. Okay. Our other tools include a Midi Monitor. So it will basically
I'll show you MIDI events. Okay. Another tool is a waveform. So anything we play will be in a waveform. Our next tool is a chord wheel. So it will tell us what chords we are playing. So if I play a C chord, it will let you know that you're playing a C chord. Not really sure why that's there, but... And then we have a polytuner, which is great because you want your guitar to be in tune, right? Here's an E. Here's a B. Here's a G. Here's a D. Here's an A. And here's my E. Okay, if I play a chord, see all the strings are represented here because it is a polytuner. So that's it for tools. We can always take this MIDI instrument and just click it twice, and we can just remove the instrument if we want. So over here is a guitar section, and this is where we would select guitar tone. So we're going to go ahead and click on, let's do a tube amplifier. Okay, and our tube amp, we have it set for clean, but we can do like a little crunch if we want to crunch. We can go ahead and set it for, say, overdrive if you want overdrive. Sounds kind of weird though. We'll keep it on clean. Okay, and then our amp effects, we have a lot of different things to choose from in there. And then also we have a place for 2 amp effects, and then our cabinet. What kind of cabinet are we going to use? Okay, and then our gain, of course, is right here. Our master effects area is another place to load even more effects. We can balance between the 2 tones with this knob right here. If we want more MIDI instrument, then we're going to turn the knob this way. If we want more guitar, then we're going to turn the knob this way. And then this is our master gain, and that will complete the patch. Let's go ahead and load a few patches here. I'm going to click on Roads, and let's see, what shall we load? Let's do a jazz rock dynamic. So now we've loaded a delay, we have a reverb unit here, we have a cabinet, we have a chorus, a tube amp, here's our expressor, and we're using an electric piano with this, and we have a sustain as well. Okay, so okay, let's load another patch. Let's do an organ. So what other patches we have? Let's do a, what do we have over here? Test piano and velocity backing. Let's do Deep Extreme. Try that one. This is more or less just a guitar tone. Okay, so there you have it, Midi Guitar 2. The cool thing about this is that it works with Cakewalk, and you can use third-party effects and third-party instruments with this as well. So download it, play with it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.